Hi everyone! I'm back with my friend and co-host, Avi, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the 1994 action thriller picture, Speed, with Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, and Sandra Bullock. So let's get right into this. So Avi, what are your initial opening thoughts when it comes to Speed, 94?
Even I thought it's another great action movie in that decade. Since after I watched the Terminator 2, even I thought it'd be like I thought there's like another cop movie, but even it's a good cop involving about the. But this is like a very die-hard scenario situation.
Well, it's interesting that you just mentioned the die-hard scenario situation because before our podcast started, I went to go on the IMDb page about Speed, and it said that the director of Speed worked on Die Hard. Say again?
Because he's formerly a cinematographer of Die Hard.
Exactly.
Other cinematography he does is also the same director of Die Hard is The Hunt for Red October and Basic Instinct.
Right, exactly, all those connections. And as far as the cop aspect you mentioned with Terminator 2, this is the second time that Keanu Reeves plays a cop when he first does that in Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break, yeah. That's a good role, but even like... sometimes in Keanu Reeves' early career, he's like a teenager or being a slacker guy, like in Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure. But even though he wants to take some big stuff, almost like a action wave.
Oh, okay, yeah. And also, when I was reading up on the page, it was saying as part of the trivia that Halle Berry was offered to be the bus driver in this movie, but she turned it down, and she thought Sandra Bullock did a better job with it. But then with John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, Keanu Reeves and Halle Berry get to finally work together, yeah.
Even she plays about the hostage situation, like the one with Kurt Russell movie called Executive Decision.
Oh, right, that's right, that came out in 96, yeah.
Yeah, like all this place of stewardess didn't know a guy himself involved with terrorist hijacking, but then there's a secret secret ops about secret goes on board the cargo section of the plane about how to retake the fight back.
Right. So spoiler alert about that movie. Big spoiler alert about this 96 movie. No one's seen it yet, but this is the rare case in a movie where Steven Seagal voluntarily kills himself.
Yeah, not much of the action star about who wants to.
Well, I guess wasn't it supposed to be about like Carrie Russell being the action star?
Kurt Russell's in it. He's just like some kind of like analyst of some kind, but he doesn't know about how to defuse a bomb.
Right, defusing it. Right. The other thing I want to mention about Speed, as we're starting this up here now, is in this movie, his friend or coworker of Keanu Reeves is Jeff Daniels, who is kind of playing a serious role in this movie, but then in the same year, he's humorous in comedy in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, but sometime in the past, he does some little comedy works like Woody Allen, The Purple Rose of Cairo, and Wild.
What was the Woody Allen one called again?
The Purple Rose of Cairo.
I'm not familiar with that one. When did that come out?
It's an 80s movie about the magic realism. It takes place like here in a golden age of Hollywood about one lonely girl is ready to have a struggle with her husband's abusive life to her. About for only escapism is she goes to the movie theater where they play some kind of like Indiana Jones type of movie of adventure serial films. The favorite actor he likes is Jeff Daniels plays the main hero story. But
was it funny?
It's funny, romantic comedy and fantasy.
Nice.
Because all of a sudden his characters just got out of the screen in the movie and joins her.
Nice.
Like magic realism, the magic about the movies.
Nice. Speaking about romantic type things, did Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock also work together in the 2006?
Well, they worked to reunite again in the 2006 Lake House.
That's what I thought. That movie 06 movie together. Right. Okay. What I like about also what it's on the page about this movie is that Dennis Hopper is like more of a guy that got ticked off on why he's the bad guy. He got ticked off about something.
But he plays other villainous roles, like the one he plays in Blue Velvet and Waterworld, and not to mention Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah, I know. I like your facial remarks during these comments. Yeah, I did see Super Mario Brothers, how he played that, and I'm not too familiar with all the other movies, but yeah.
But in his earliest role, about his his breakthrough. But back in the '50s, he had small parts in the '50s, like the two James Dean movies, like
right.
the one with the Rebel Without a Cause and the Giant, and
were those major characters he played in those movies?
Supporting characters.
Oh, supporting characters.
Small parts.
Okay.
But his biggest one is he also is the director. Like he stars and directed in Easy Rider.
Oh yeah, the Easy Rider. Yeah,
right.
That's right. And then, as far as I know, Dennis Hopper passed away in 2010.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And he also plays the villain in the first season of 24.
Oh really? In the 24 show? Oh nice.
Yeah, with Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh right. Okay, cool. The next thing I want to mention is a little side character in this movie. Is he played the friend of Ferris Bueller in Ferris? Right, that guy. Then he was on Michael J. Fox's the Spin City show.
Spin City, yeah.
Yeah.
And recently he's got Emmy nominated for that on HBO Succession.
Oh, is he like a major character in Succession?
Yeah, it's like some kind of family dysfunction who wants to control the corporate power.
Okay, I'm not familiar with his HBO show, but yeah. I just know him mostly from the Ferris Bueller and the Spin City. I think.
And also he's also in the Star Trek Generations.
Oh really? That too? Okay.
Yeah, the movie.
Okay.
Star Trek movie.
Okay. So what I read on the page again before we started is that in some original scripts he was going to get killed off, but in the final version they ended up.
Even it's very too arrogant, right.
Very
cowardly.
But I think in the final version he stays alive.
Stays alive at that, but he works again with the same director of Speed in the movie Twister.
Oh really? Oh wow, in Twister again? Okay.
He's one of the team of Chasing Tornadoes.
Right, the Twister one, yeah. Yeah, there's some talk of maybe being a Twister too, but some movies just don't need sequels.
I don't know if he's going to be back again about as a vice or something like
right.
that.
And again,
advisor.
As a what? In what?
Well, he's the one who studies about chasing tornadoes. Hopefully it doesn't play like a mentor as a special appearance.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Before we get too far into this some more, I just want to say, everybody, that we did originally try to do Face Off before this, and unfortunately the thumbnail and the processing didn't work too well. So if you guys ever want to catch either The Last Crusade or Face Off, they're the only two video podcasts that didn't process well, but still have the video recordings available. But yeah, so sorry about that. But now we're on Speed. Let's talk about the overall story. So basically, it sounds kind of silly on paper, but the bus has to stay over 50 miles per hour, or else it's gonna get blown up.
In case if it slows down or something.
If it slows down, it's going to blow up from that? Yeah. Interesting high concept of a story for that. Again, Keanu Reeves is like a cop, just like he was in Point Break. So you got 91, he's in Point Break doing the first action. Then he got his second action here with Speed. And then in 1999, he gets to get Neo.
And with the Matrix.
Yeah, Anderson. But I don't care.
Dad likes with Keanu Reeves movie called The Devil's Advocate.
Oh yeah, that came out in '97 with Al Pacino and what's her name?
Charlize Theron.
Yes. So what are your quick thoughts on The Devil's Advocate?
Well, sometimes very almost too much anything about the cheesy about the beginning about to go be a legal lawyer about to go to the biggest firm, but he doesn't know the second half of this game. So very so tense about why. It's even becoming a lawyer had mention the cost about you want to get the higher up.
Okay. Well, listen, I haven't really seen, honestly, a whole lot of Al Pacino movies, but there's one Al Pacino movie I did see that I liked a lot, and it's Dog Day Afternoon. That was really well done.
How about The Godfather?
I've seen, we did Godfather on the Spotify podcast version of Godfather. We did 50th anniversary of Godfather, but other than Godfather, the only really Al Pacino movie that I've seen and really liked was what I saw in Dog Day Afternoon.
And what about Heat? Heat is the best.
I've seen parts of Heat. I've seen parts of it.
And it's very cheesy part about it can't be even as Oscar nominated was in 1990 is the one with Warren Beatty movie called Dick Tracy.
Oh yeah, Dick Tracy. Yeah, I know. Dick Tracy came out in '90. For me, that's still all about Ninja Turtles 1990. Which, if anybody hasn't caught it yet, we did do Turtles 1990, as well as its two 90s sequels. So if you guys haven't caught that yet, catch our Ninja Turtles discussions. But yeah, Dick Tracy. I get what you're saying with Dick Tracy. So the bus is gonna get blown up if it goes under 50 miles per hour. So throughout this whole story, it's interesting how they try to keep it above 50 without blowing up itself.
Right. And you know they say about this in the same highway or expressway. It's the same place where the O.J. Simpsons had a wild Bronco chase on the highway.
Oh, it was the same highway as
And speed.
as O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson. Even that same year, after this came out, even they saw the news about O.J. Simpson's on the run, riding on the Bronco.
Right.
It's the same highway. It makes it very familiar. I know this scene there. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that was a big story back then. That was a big story.
Yeah, that same year, about decades, that becomes all the 90s are very popular with the 90s were popular as computer animation like Toy Story, but now the 90s is very too darker.
Wait, what was darker? What did you say darker after Toy Story?
The 90s I didn't know about is one about like Rodney King and O.J. Simpson
right.
and you know anything even about 93 is all, but just like what we talk about is the 93 peace accords.
I'm sorry, what did you say about 93?
The peace accords between Israel and
Arafat. I'm just confused because you're talking about serious stuff right after talking about Toy Stories. So I'm just kind of getting mixed in with Toy Story and serious stuff.
Yeah, but one of the things that's very like how you could do that is bus jumping over the empty road to get to another part.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to comment what you said about Toy Story in '95. They're talking about making a Toy Story 5. I thought it should have stopped after like Toy Story 3. So I don't.
Tom Hanks is getting older, and they already did the spin-off of Lightyear.
Yeah, I just don't think a Toy Story 5 is a good idea.
No, not even if you could make another spin-off like the one with the bunny and the duck, voiced by Jordan Peele and the.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about that one. But as far as 93, every time Israel tries to give a peace offering or a way to keep the peace, they always deny the peace offering. So it's a whole big mess as far as Israel and peace goes with these people that hate us. But yeah, at least at the time of this recording, there was a big rally in Washington, D.C. that thousands of people were at. So that's pro-Israel, happy Israel, except not wanting to kill us. So there's anti-Israel, pro-Israel. It's a whole big thing now, unfortunately.
Right, back to speed.
Back to speed.
Character you don't know who's in it is Joe Morton, the leader.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw on the cast list that Joe Morton's in there. So you got Joe Morton played. He played Dyson, right?
Yeah, Miles Dyson.
Miles Dyson in Terminator 2, and then I think he played the dad of the DC character.
Oh yeah, the Cyborg.
The dad of Cyborg. And then you were mentioning a bit ago about O.J. Simpson. When they were doing the original Terminator 84, they were considering having.
They thought they hired O.J. Simpson as a villain.
Right.
Now that becomes a true biggest media.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's that, and then he was doing the comedies of the Naked Gun trilogy.
Gun series.
Yeah.
And he also acting in the Towering Inferno.
Oh yeah, and you mentioned the Towering Inferno as well.
He's a security guard to discover there's a fire in the building.
Yeah. If you guys want to catch out the comedy we did Airplane. So if you go back in the history, we did the Airplane discussion.
And 40-year-old virgin and the.
Oh yeah, and if you guys want to hear 40-year-old virgin, that's just an Spotify audio only form. So that's in the original Spotify podcast. If you want to catch 40-year-old virgin.
And there's Ghostbuster or the.
No, I don't think we did Ghostbusters.
No, but we did Groundhog's Day and Back to the Future.
Yeah, we did Groundhog's Day and Back to the Future. Groundhog's Day and Back to the Future are in podcast form, and we could always,
Goonies.
What's that?
And the Goonies is a.
Oh, and the Goonies. We did Back to the Future, Goonies, and what was the third one you said?
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, and Groundhog Day. We did those three. It was your thoughts about Groundhog Day, and then both of us with Back to the Future and Goonies. And we didn't do the original Ghostbusters yet. So it is possible for a future movie discussion to you guys get a video form maybe of us of doing Ghostbusters together. Actually, did you also know this spring they're coming out with the next Ghostbusters movie? It's gonna be called
Frozen Empire.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Frozen Empire. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And I think it showed what's his face in the trailer. The guy.
Oh God.
The guy that what's his name?
Commander Johnny and
He was in the Blues Brothers. No, not Blues Brothers. What's his face? He was in the guy that was in the girl movies.
Original casting reunited. Dan Aykroyd.
That's the name, Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd was in the trailer for. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was in the trailer for Frozen, whatever that was. Yeah.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
Now New York is facing as the second ice age.
Right.
It's called a death chill, the frozen ghost.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about let it go type.
Right. Oh yeah, let it go. Right. So anyway, to not get too sidetracked, back to Speed.
Speed, yeah.
So what did you think of this Speed movie overall? What did you think of this Speed?
It's like even that's it's very too pointless about taking over like a bomb on the bus if he doesn't know how you tend to go off. But even though you know how you get prepared that somebody's secretly watching us when you're on the bus.
Oh yeah, the secret watching, yeah.
That's what Gravy's idea about is how they create a fake image.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, the fake image. Now, Joe Morton, who was Dyson and in the DC thing, was he also one of the bus passengers, or was he somebody else?
No, he's a SWAT.
Oh, that's right, part of the SWAT team. That's right, part of the SWAT team. So the SWAT team was Joe Morton and the guy from Dumb and Dumber?
Jeff Daniels.
So they were both in the SWAT team. Okay.
Well, yeah, even though almost like a big thing about sometimes that, but anybody can drive. I mean, not Sandra Bullock could learn how to learn bus driving in real life as a secret testing. Yeah.
Right. Oh, you had to learn about the driving, right? Now, quick thing. This is an action movie, but even though this is an action movie, is Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves? They're supposed to have some sort of romantic chemistry, right?
Yeah, they chemistry about knowing each other. Even how they get off the bus, get off the bus in time before exposure, they escape through. About has a very good moment. They need to sound anything something about a superhero guy type of rescue damsel in distress.
Right. Yeah, I liked how Keanu Reeves was in this movie. I also read on the page before we started that he did 90% of his own stunts in this movie.
Oh yeah, not like Jackie Chan or it's Tom Cruise.
No, nobody can beat Jackie Chan and Tom Cruise when it comes to stunts because they really do it. But yeah, that's pretty good that Keanu Reeves did 90% of it. And yeah, we can always find sometime hopefully in the future to do Ghostbusters together. And I actually I like Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I didn't really care for anything that came after that. But yeah, I like 84 and 89's both Ghostbusters.
Even they already made a cartoon version of Ghostbusters.
I saw they make cartoons of all these things. They make cartoons to adult movies. It's very interesting. These adult movies becoming cartoons later on and stuff. I mean, as far as all that, since Ghostbusters Frozen, what was it called?
Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire comes out in the spring. I don't want to give it away, but I'll be coming out with a video soon with my top highlighted, most anticipated movies of 2024. Ghostbusters didn't make the cut, but that'll be coming out for you guys sometime in the near future.
Alright. So anyhow, from the Speed.
Yeah, Speed.
Even sometimes one passenger that just killed in the Speed. I know her. She's in that movie with Tom Cruise called Rayman.
Which person are you talking about now?
One passenger who got killed off of the.
What was the passenger's name?
Well, I forgot her name, but she stars in the one Tom Cruise movie called Rayman.
Can you look up her name real quick, please?
1 second. Let me check something like. Oh, here it comes. It's just in the moment today.
Okay, that's fine.
Her name is Beth Grant.
Beth Grant?
Her name is Beth Grant.
Who did she play in the Rain Man movie?
Because she plays the mother of the farmhouse. Because Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman stopped by her house.
Oh, okay. I'd have to read. I'd have to.
They let Rayman watch television for an upcoming scheduled game show.
Oh, okay. I'd have to rewatch that scene to know who this woman is, but okay. I'll take your word for it that's what she does with all that. Okay. We're officially now 20 minutes in. We're 20 minutes into this, so depending on how much left we have to say about Speed, it doesn't have to go on too long, but we're at the 20-minute point around now, just to let you know.
Right.
We talked about a lot of the characters. We talked about this story high concept about it's going to blow up if it goes under, was it 50 miles or whatever. We talked a bit about the villain. We talked about some of the other actors and actresses in it. What else do you think the audience should know about Speed that we haven't yet already said?
Keanu Reeves wasn't all that interested in starring in the action movie, so John DeBow had to convince him that it would be fun by telling Reeves he'd be allowed to do as many of his own stunts as possible on Speed. The filmmaker credits Keanu Reeves' willingness to do more stunts with the film's success, as it's clear that the cast is enmeshed in the action. Of course, you have to be really careful because then they want to do everything themselves, which of course you can't let them do, Bond said.
Yeah, like I said, he did 90% of his own stunts, so that was good that they were able to convince Keanu Reeves to get on this one. And I also thought it was also a very wise decision on Keanu Reeves' part to not want to take place in the sequel that came out 3 years later.
Alright, maybe he's very busy or something.
No, he just knew that the sequel wouldn't be as good as the first one, so there was no reason to be a part of it.
Right, and also, do you know it's one of the credits about the Quentin Tarantino favorite films?
I saw that as part of the trivia as well, yeah.
Because he's originally going to direct it, but he passed along. But however, he credited the movie as his favorite movies in his.
I saw that. Yeah, I see that about Quentin Tarantino as part of the trivia, and that's why I kind of like how this French guy director does it, since he already had worked action-wise with his part in Die Hard.
Right. And it also says it was Sandra Bullock's idea to get out Alan Rook's situation by feigning a gun emergency and switching scenes. It's one of her improv.
Tell me again, what did she improv? What happened?
Idea about she has to get out Alan Rook's situation by feigning a gun emergency and switching seats. It's actually her improvising.
Oh, that sounds interesting how that was all done with that part. That's very nice.
And also about let's see what's next is sorry again.
It's fine. You'll find it. It's fine.
It's just it's loading up. Also, that same year as Speed, there's one action movie by the same production company called True Lies. We did.
Oh yeah, everybody, we did True Lies in December of 2022. We were doing that because of the new Avatar coming out, so you guys can catch up on True Lies, The Goonies, Back to the Future, Goonies. Wait, I'm sorry, rather go Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Day. Back to the Future was the first one we ever did. Back to the Future, Groundhog's Day, Goonies, and True Lies.
Right. The bus jump over a missing piece of the raised freeway was the most expensive shot in the film due to both the digital effects and the stunt work.
Wait, which one was the most expensive?
The bus jump.
Oh, right, the bus jumping, yeah.
Piece of the raised freeway was the most expensive shot in the film due to both the digital effects and the stunt work. There's no actual gap, meaning it was created via visual effects.
Nice.
And John DeBow had them add birds where the gap is to help complete the illusion. He was also told that the bus would only go 15 feet or so, despite being a stripped-down model, so he set both of his cameras accordingly to catch a landing. In reality, the bus jumped over and past the cameras, having more than double the expected distance. It landed on and destroyed one camera set further back, while the second one was able to capture the landing.
Nice. That's interesting. What I liked about the movie is for the climax, for the third act climax, how
The subway. The subway.
Yeah, in the subway, how Keanu Reeves was able to get Dennis Hopper on top of him, and then on top, Dennis Hopper got his like basically his whole body cut off by getting into the thing like that.
Overhead lights.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And also, even though she got the bomb defused on her, but she can't get the off about the get the handcuffs off of the. So she can't really set to the full speed ahead of the train to go
Right.
to the construction there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I feel like almost like no how kids they could survive with the subway both through the to the streets.
Right, right. Now I know you like the musical aspect of movies. What did it say about the music of Speed?
They have the music by there's one by the one who did the Dancing Myself
Well, who is it by? Say again.
you know who did the Dancing with Myself
No, tell me.
let's see about Billy Idol.
Oh, okay. I heard of the Billy Idol name. Okay.
Because they have some song Speed by the Billy Idol.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Was it a good
Yeah,
song? Was it a good song?
It might be, but even I like him all in his 80s time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Right.
That's what
80s.
Dad likes the most of the Billy Idol in the 80s. He even plays himself in The Wedding Singer.
Oh, right. Right. The Wedding Singer. Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be mention your dad with everybody for Home Alone and Hangover, both of those movies.
Right. The earrings that Annie, the Sandra Bullock sports, are belted down badges of Sigma Pi fraternity. Sandra Bullock was a little sister at the fraternity East Carolina University chapter.
Okay. So this is her doing this right a little bit after Stallone's Demolition Man.
Well, even though the one about the controlling the bus it's like the same scene like you saw in Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
I didn't see that movie. Was that good?
It's very good about even have the Asian superhero besides Black Panther.
Okay.
But Black Panther has African heroes, but Shang-Chi now is an Asian hero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, martial arts, like martial arts superhero type.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that one.
About the one bus that's got out of control, and one of the characters is a woman that played by Aquafina had to control the bus about the out of control.
Was it supposed to be an homage to Speed?
Homage.
Okay, homage. Yeah, I'm not familiar, but you sound to know a lot about that one. But as far as martial arts is concerned, I liked all the martial arts moves that Keanu Reeves does as Neo in The Matrix.
And also the bulk of the freeway action was filmed on the unfinished freeway stretch in Los Angeles. All the cars on both sides are production cars under their control. There's a major choreography every time, they said.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And I like it about who composed the music for the Speed is Mark Mancina.
Oh, what else did he do?
Well, he did the music like the one with Disney animation Tarzan.
Oh, okay.
And the action movie about like the Con Air with Nicolas Cage.
Right, Con Air, yeah. Okay, yeah, I heard he does some kind of good music with some movies there. But the state of Disney.
The one he did the music for August Rush and Brother Bear.
Oh, all those two. Okay.
And another Disney animation, Moana.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the state of Disney right now is they're just trying to make like live action movies of all their older stuff, and a lot of people are annoyed at Disney right these days. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like I got my face shrunken.
Right. Yeah. So like sure. Go ahead. Sorry.
What are you saying that?
No, I was just saying, like, even though this is an action movie, I do like the chemistry between Sandra Bullock's character and Keanu Reeves in this, and how they're connected after having to go through this whole bus thing.
Even also even in Al Janelle show where they come together, they confess they almost have a real life love situation.
Say it again. What you mean for the other movie?
No, the Alan Gennaro show when they come together when they reunited on the talk show host about they confess after filming stuff they almost have a real life love.
Wait, where was this a scene in the movie or something else?
In the scene in the movie about it becomes a real life.
There was a new scene where they what?
No. It's a
Okay.
real life love situation. After the movie's done, about they did have dates on.
Oh, real life situation after the movie. Okay, got it. Now I got it. Okay, got you
Yeah.
now.
This movie represents a reinvention of the 1970s disaster film.
Oh yeah.
The former is similar to that of the airport films, where something renders a pilot incapacitated, leading up to one of the flight lieutenants, the pilot, and land the plane with the help of mission control.
Huh.
More specific disaster films with similar plot lines set on the bus and a train, respectively, are the 1976 satirical The Big Bus and 1985 Monterey Train.
Interesting about back to those type of things.
Yeah, it's part of the action movies, but it feels like you're watching a disaster movie, but with a terrorist plot.
Right, right. Well, we were talking before the discussion started about possibly maybe doing Munich. That definitely has a terrorist type theme to it, so we might do Munich one day. We're officially 30 minutes in now, so I want to know what grade you would give this Speed movie and your final thoughts and opinions about Speed.
Well, I grade this movie about.
I personally, I would give it a B. I would give it a B grade.
Everyone's going to say it's the greatest action movie in the 90s, but there's other action movies in the 90s era.
Yeah, I think there's better movies in the 90s. I would say Terminator 2, Matrix. Face Off was good, even though that didn't, unfortunately, process. But it's not like one of the best movies of the 90s, but it's not one of the worst. So, but how would you grade Speed?
A.
Okay, you give it an A and I'll give it a B. All right.
And you know this movie about it? There's been uncredited rewrite by Joss Whedon.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that part, but I believe that you said that about Joss Whedon also happened.
Yeah. The reason why Joss Whedon was brought in to do some uncredited rewrites on the script, mostly changing some characters and most of the dialogue, is because the studio and producer were impressed by this 1993 spec script Suspension, which sold for $750,000 against $1 million. Much like Speed, was considered to be a Die Hard on the bus. Suspension was described as Die Hard on George Washington Bridge. The plot of the script was about newly released ex-con, who is also a martial artist, who gets trapped on George Washington Bridge with hundreds of other people as terrorists led by psychopathic Chinese mercenary take it over and threaten to blow it up and kill everyone unless ransom is paid. And the ex-con and some female police officer are the only ones who can stop them. Although the script was put into production in '95, and we did some rewrites on it, it was never made.
Oh, well, that's okay, because you know what, Joss Whedon, he's worked on so much other stuff that Joss Whedon directed and did all kinds of other stuff outside of all this, so it's okay.
And also, the television creator of the Buffy,
right, like
Angel,
those,
and Firefly,
right, on those television shows, yeah. And
he's one that wrote the screenplay of the first Toy Story.
Oh, really? Also with Toy Story as well? Yeah, Toy Story 95, the way they did the computer aspects of the first Toy Story was really incredible, what they pulled off back then in 95. So yeah. What are your, now that you gave it an A, I gave it a B, what are your overall final thoughts and opinions on Speed 94?
Well, don't think about give some time about the worry about driving at a speed, about driving when it's so tense. Like even that today for mom for my mom it was on the way to Silver Spring since Friday. It's her first time she hasn't driven to the highway since she was 16. About IB has a co-pilot like Keanu Reeves and she's a Sandra Bullock. I co-pilot to relax. Since I use my phone as a GPS. How
was the highway, and what did you guys use for GPS?
Because it's the most way the direct route to how to get to my sister's house.
What kind of app did you use for the GPSing?
A G-map.
The G-map, okay. And how was the highway for you guys? Were you able to handle the whole highway?
Yes, we handled the whole highway, but on that Friday it's very rainy. But she has to drive it to the highway.
It's hard. It's difficult to drive in the rain like that.
And it's a little splashy. You have to turn on the wipers to see where we are.
Okay, right. Okay.
And she has to keep it steady about which lane she has to take. About if it's like if you don't want to get confused with the trucks or cars.
Well, that's good. That's nice that you were able to help her without a whole situation.
And to merge.
Oh, of course, and merging it too as well. Well, I'm glad you guys are both safe. Any last few things about Speed?
All right. At one point, it while noticing Annie's sweater. Jack said that the Arizona Wildcats have a good football team. While the University of Arizona had a good football team while the movie was being made, it's far better than known as a basketball school.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because even at the time, Keanu Reeves is very like in his past, he does a dumb thoughts. Like he's very like he's a slacker, like in the Bill and Ted Parenthood.
Right.
But he plays some football. He plays some kind of football character, like a football character, like the one in like he once played with Patrick Swayze in the Point Break.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Most people know him from Point Break there, but yeah.
And then he plays the football in The Replacements.
Oh yeah, the football with The Replacements as well. Yes.
And also another role about him. And you know, Keanu Reeves is actually born from Canada because I remember in his earlier career he plays ice hockey.
Well, he lived in Canada, but he was actually born. He lived in Canada, but he was actually born in Beirut, Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Yeah, he was born. He was born. He's literally born in Beirut, Lebanon, but did spend a lot of time in Canada. Yeah, but actually born in Lebanon there. Yeah. Yeah. So we're 35. We're 35 minutes in. Any things you want to say about Speed, or is that about cut it?
Let's see that. In March 2018, during the morning of the one-hour clock change between Greenwich Mean Time, aka UTC, and BSE, aka Irish Summertime, Ireland's RTE1 television channel ran this movie without any advertisements.
Oh.
RTE usually shows ads throughout their entire schedule year-round, apart from Christmas Day, where movies are shown free or commercial breaks. RTE either had no advertisers booking slots, as the audience would be very low during a late night, early morning, or they were having...
Wait, are you saying this did or did not get advertising?
They did get advertising, you know?
Okay, so they got some advertising for it, okay. Alright, well everybody, I hope you guys got something out of liking Avi and I talking about Speed 1994. And coming up next, in our next discussion, we'll be going over the 1992 holiday comedy classic, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. We both... Avi and I are both going to have a whole lot of thoughts and comments to say about that one. So, if you like Home Alone 2 and Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2 is coming up first, followed by Home Alone 1. And then we got some comedies after those ones as well. Some more comedies that are not holiday related after that. So, thanks again for keeping this current and saying all your thoughts now, Avi, about this. And I can't wait for you to tell the audience about Home Alone 2, Lost in New York next.
Okay, I think Home Alone 2 is a little good than the first one.
Say again, it's what about from the first one?
The Home Alone 2 is a little bit favorite kind for me than the first one.
You mean you liked it more than the first one?
More than the first one, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting then, because we're actually doing Home Alone 2 first, and then the original after that. So you'll have all your full comments and thoughts and opinions about Home Alone 2, and if you did like it more than the first one, you'll give the reasons why. Then we'll be doing Home Alone 1 after that. So I can't wait to do the Home Alones with you. All right, cool. Thanks for coming on for Speed today, and hopefully this one processes.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Everybody, support your local movie theater throughout the decade of the 2030s to see movies on the big blown-up screen with a bunch of community-like of strangers, because there's no experience like it. It's just not the same to watch movies at home or to watch movies on home online streaming. Go back, support your local movie theater to see movies in 2024 and beyond. Do it. Do it now. Everybody dance and have a good time. One more time. Everybody dance and have a good time. This is friend and co-host Avi and Millennial Man Motions Entertainment, LLC, signing out for now.